What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Captain Jack. Welcome back to the channel. You can see it's very windy, so we are on the intercoastal, but I had to get on the water because I have a super famous person with me. Braden Sheeran. If anybody's seen his videos, comment below if you've seen his video. He had Spearo world record?
Non-official spearfishing, but
yeah, he has an awesome video about him shooting. How big was it?
137.
137 pound Spearo on the oil rigs out in Texas. Do you say you're in Texas usually?
Yeah.
Out in Texas, and you guys, he does a ton of diving off of a Panga. And so my boat isn't actually an Andros, and it's a Panga hybrid. So he was definitely geeking out about it. He was liking all the bells and whistles, and this is basically a Panga, but just a little overbuilt, Americanized Panga. It's not that offshore, you know, foreign country sort of deal. Like he's actually here doing some work on his boat in Miami. So luckily he had a free day. We've been talking on the YouTube, and it actually worked out to where we could set it. But like I said, it is super windy, and I don't think we're gonna get offshore. We're gonna try, and I'll show you clips of that, and we'll see how rough it actually is. But we're gonna make sure we have this little window where we can dive some inshore, and we're gonna dive a nice huge boil that is coming out of pipes underground. And if you get caught in this vortex, you will literally get sent like far. So I warned Braden about it, and it could be a little dangerous, but we'll see. We got little Tiva on board. She'll freak out once I get in the water. And then also we got Matt. Matt's running the boat, and he's actually checking out. Tell about your thing. We got it going on right here. Look at that.
Coordinates.
Oh, it doesn't matter. So look at this. So we have underwater video. Matt runs a company called Reef Scope. I'll leave a link in the description below. He was nice enough to attach one to my boat, and I'm really testing it out. It's the only underwater camera that actually attaches to the transom, and there's no through hole. So installing it was pretty easy, and I did it last night. We went ahead, put it into the test right now, and are we gonna go over the stuff right now? Drive that way. Here, we're gonna actually see what we're diving before we get in, and then also we'll do a little videoing of the GPS. And this thing attaches right to your Garmin. So I attached it to the back of the Garmin, and you can do split screens, you can do nav screens to where you have nav and then you have the video, just so you can get a glimpse of what you're actually gonna dive on or fish on. But yeah, check these guys out, really cool stuff, and you'll see it definitely throughout the video. But we're gonna get suited up, we're gonna get in the water, and we're gonna do island cookout with whatever we get, so do not go anywhere, and I'll see you guys down below. You guys, welcome underwater and welcome to the voiceovers. Now I'm rocking the GoPro on my head, and what I see is what you see. And while you're here, go ahead and do me a favor, like, subscribe, follow along on the adventures. I post one every week. Here goes the countdown. Hold my breath with me on this first dive, and it turns out to actually be a really good one. So now I've dove this place before, and I kind of know the layout, which really helped me a lot. I make it all the way to the bottom, and I'm cruising along this seawall, and I know the fish like to stack up along it. Starting the day and starting the dive, I want to make sure I secure dinner, and I know I'm expecting mangrove, so any decent one I see, I want to make sure I get a fish in the boat. That way we secure lunch, and pressure is off, and everything else is actually a bonus from this point on. We got dinner. All right, this is what we wanted. On the board, got a nice mangrove. It's probably about 15 inches. This is what we wanted. This is perfect for dinner. Tiva, you wanna try it? You like that? Good girl. We got lunch. You. Here goes the countdown again. Now on this time, I actually follow Braden down to the sand. I gave him a layout. I sort of showed him the ropes approach you want to take on these fish, because you can't just dive bomb them. You have to kind of be sneaky, cruising along the wall, and act like you're not really out there to harm them, and you're a part of the environment. And he actually does a really good job. There was a couple of mangroves that he probably could have shot, but he's from Texas, and if you haven't seen his videos, he gets on some big mangroves, and he actually passes on a lot of big mangroves. He's not used to seeing, well, one, our size limit is only 10 inches, and so anything really 12 plus is decent for the area. But he is extremely patient, really selective, actually doesn't pull the trigger, but you can see his approach kind of standing next to this big pipe. And he actually, when we hit the surface, he talks about the pipe and how crazy powerful it is pumping out this hot water. Should have popped one of those bangs. They're right in front of you. You're not going to see the giants like you do in Texas. Oh, dude, I told you, if you get in there, you're gone. I felt it like, holy crap. Yeah. We decided to move to a little bit of a deeper area, sort of a drop off, and this is Braden's GoPro. Before we were rocking little single band guns. That way, you know, we didn't shoot into rocks. We weren't going to take really long shots, but he switched to the 120 roller, and I actually switched to my 120 roller as well. And as he's making a drop, you can see he's rocking the DJI action camera on his head. And let me know if you guys think this one is better compared to the GoPro 11, which is what I'm using on the top of my head. I know that the color balance is a little bit different. Anyways, back to the diving. He makes a nice drop. You can see this place is full of life, which is a little bit more than what we were seeing at the other spot. I don't know if he sees anything worth shooting, but I know he was very selective when we were diving together. He is used to the giants out on the oil rigs in the Gulf. I believe he's looking off at a sheep's head in the distance, doing a bunch of scanning, and that's really what you want to do in this area. Just, there's life all around. When you're just down there, everything gets comfortable, everything starts coming in. When you first hit the bottom, things usually spread out, but then, like I said, when things get comfortable, they start coming in. But on this dive, he didn't take a shot on anything, and it just goes to show how selective he was. I, on the other hand, am a little bit less selective, just because I wanted to make sure we get another fish. And you can see the Rob Allen, I switched to the roller. I still have that extra kicker band just in case. From where we're diving, the vis is a little bit better. It's not close quarter shooting. I line up on one of those mangroves. It was a little bit smaller than the other one I shot, but at this point I just want to secure that we have enough lunch for all of us to eat, because we're starving, didn't have any breakfast. If a sheep's head comes along, that's more likely what I would shoot. All these mangroves are around, they're very plentiful, so I'm going to make sure I pick the biggest one, give it a shot. And then the way I cook it, there's a specific reason why I'm going after snapper. You'll see later in the video, specifically when we cook, why I'm targeting mangrove snapper. But I landed a really good shot here. Probably right through the meat, but it was, with these smaller fish, it's really hard to make perfect headshots, especially rocking a little bit bigger of a gun. Really stoked, got enough fish for lunch, and now it's time to check out the offshore area. But right before we do that, Braden does one more dive. And I think on this one, I just wanted to show you his different technique, his just from somebody else's standpoint. And again, comment in the section down below. Let me know if you think this GoPro, the quality is a little bit better than the one I was using. Feel free to bounce around in between them. I know they're a little bit cheaper and the battery lasts a little longer, and there's a couple other perks, that technical perks that these DJIs have. But like I said, just let me know in the comments below. Let me see what you like. If you prefer videos being shot with this action cam, let me know down in the comments. So that was kind of a medium-sized mutton that Braden saw. He was kind of reaching out, but I think he was probably a little bit uncertain on the size. There was a lot of respect. Better to be safe than sorry, especially since I already got 2 fish. Lunch is secured. We're not going to go starving if we don't get fish, and it's not like it was a huge mission and a huge trip and we have to bring home a bunch of fish. It was a nice little chill day. He came up empty-handed on this dive, but I believe I do another dive right after him and I see something pretty unique, tell him to make a drop immediately. What were you lining up on?
Sheep's head.
Oh, yeah?
I was about to shoot and then it's turned.
Oh shit.
There's a small mutton too.
Yeah. Again, we have Braden's vantage point right now. He makes it drop. You saw me pointing down, and you'll see exactly what I was pointing at. And he gets a little closer. And this will give you a really good chance to see that DJI action cam to let me know if it's, you know, better quality. But as he descends, you can kind of look at the top of the screen. There's a fish laying next to the rocks, and it's super chill. And it was really cool to see this. It was a Goliath grouper. Normally these things are massive, and this one was only about 10 pounds. It was all lit up at the bottom. I don't know if he gets those over in the Gulf, so I thought it was really cool to kind of share that with them. I know there's a couple of muttons off in the distance, smaller muttons kind of cruising around. But yeah, look at that Goliath grouper all lit up, really pretty. But these things grow like almost 1,000 pounds. I think the world record's like 900 or something like that. We get them all over the wrecks over here in West Palm. But it's really cool seeing this juvenile thriving on the wreck, and it's really cool seeing all this life, fish life and activity before you even get out onto the ocean. This is all intercoastal area, so kind of a cool sight to see. And I know I was excited to share it with Braden. Just a little something that, you know, different than he's used to. All right, so we got enough for lunch, and like I said, we're gonna try it on the outside. Might get a little dicey. We'll see how rough it is out there, or at least on the way out there. 6 foot seas. 6 foot seas. There's a good interval in between them though, but it's gonna be some swell, and it is blowing 20 miles an hour. So it's gonna get nasty. Not a lot of topside content, but we're gonna try to at least hit someplace close and give Braden a taste of what we got to offer here. What do you think so far?
It's really clear from the bay. I would never imagine spearfishing in the bay in Texas, at least not unless it's the winter time, and even then it's not much clarity. So really cool. Yeah, lots of fish.
Yeah, he's being very selective, which is pretty cool. He could have shot at, you know, some sheep's head and stuff, but we're gonna try to get on something bigger so we can take something home. We got lunch, so we're gonna do that later. And but yeah, we're gonna take you guys outside offshore in the thick of stuff. It is there. And it is rolling. Look at these waves. The GoPro never does it justice, but we're gonna hold tight and we're gonna try to get after it. All right, we were not lying. It is freaking blowing. It is choppy out here. But we're probably gonna do like one drift. We'll see what we get into, and we'll take you guys with us. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. It's so bad. But yeah, it is howling. But we're the only ones out here. That's a good thing. We made one dive, didn't see anything, and we were tired of getting beat up, so we were ready to head in for some lunch. All right, we made it to the island. I got the fish, and I have what I'm gonna cook the fish with. Oh, looks like a little pompano, or permit. Yeah, a little pompano. Little dead baby pompano. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get out of this wind. It's just so freaking windy, so I might tuck up into these mangroves right here real quick. See what we got. Nice little spot back here, all tucked away. All I have to cook with is what's in here, and it's not a lot. I kind of did this on a whim, the cooking part. I was hoping we'd get fish, which we did. Here, where's your Frisbee?
Say what? Bananas? I've seen a few, yeah. We get them like this big here.
All right, so kicking it is super primitive. We're gonna make a fire using all sticks that are about this size, and then we're gonna cook everything down into coals, and then we're gonna set the fish right on top of that. They're already gutted, already brain bled, all that stuff. So we got some coconut husk on the bottom with a little bit of leaves, and then Tiva, get it, wait. No, what are you doing? What is you doing? You literally just ruined my little mound I had here. Probably because my hands were all over it. But we're gonna get the coconut husk lit, hopefully. Super windy. And then once that lights, then the little sticks will light, then we'll throw the bigger sticks on. Yeah, go smaller sticks first, then work your way up to the bigger ones. And then you just make like a little, just keep stacking them teepee style. Just let them cook down. Like this, Rated?
Yeah.
Boy Scouts 101.
Choosing a lighter.
Yeah, I mean, I could have, it would have been tough. It would have been tough.
Bring your flint out here.
Yeah, don't want to get too crazy. So we'll just keep piling these little sticks on it and just make a giant mass of like fire, and it'll just like kind of get like this big, and then it'll just all cook down to coals, and then we'll have a nice bed of coals, and we'll spread everything out. We'll just throw the snappers right on top of that. Mangroves are really good too to do this with. You want to do it with scale fish. I found out that like jacks and other things with like small scales or no scales, not ideal, because we literally leave the scales on, because a lot of people scale the fish, but we leave them on, and it works as everything cooks through the skin and the scales, and the meat stays nice and moist. And then afterwards, I'll show you what we do. It's pretty cool. Straight Outback style. Here we go. It is pumping. This wind helps. This wind helps it cook down. All right, it's going.
Yeah, I thought it was really going.
All right, we'll chime in whenever we're finishing, whenever this cooks down into some coals. All right, right on. All right, we got this fire cooked down real nice. I kind of moved it around, flattened it out. I'm gonna put the bigger one down first. I think that one's gonna take a little bit longer to cook. Literally, I just gutted them, brained them, everything. Set them right there. I'm gonna put the other one right next to them.
Dropping whole fish on the charcoal.
That's how you do it. So that. And then we're gonna do, I'm probably gonna put a couple more sticks around it just to make sure it stays hot and we have extra charcoal to kind of push up against it. And then once it gets to the point, we'll slide them out and then flip it and then slide it out and then flip it on the same coals. It takes a hot minute, and it honestly is, it cooks slower. It takes a lot longer to cook than you would think. All right, time to flip these guys. I made little side piles of coals on the outside, so that way I can just flip them. They just sit on those coals now. I'm gonna try this one. This one is a little bit bigger.
Buddy's looking a little rough over there.
Yeah, right? And so I can usually like grab this up, shove some of these coals around them. I always undercook them. Mess up and I undercook them. Yeah, not bad. Might try to put him more on the coals. I think this smaller one might be ready to rock and roll. Go under the coals. All right, the way you eat these guys. This side's pretty much, look at that. It's so good. Let me try to, that was where I shot him. So you peel off the skin, and then I brought a little treat. I know it's a lot. And you just pick off with your hands. But yeah, hold on. Then whenever you finish one side, you just go through and pull the I'll show you. You pull the rib cage out and then you start on the other side. Ow, 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 coal, coal, coal. Ow, 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 ow. Definitely pull the coal over. Be careful. All right. Kiva, move. No, she wants to. So if you have regular olive oil, it's better. If you have regular olive oil, but I just got spray, and then I got fish delish, and then you could do salt and pepper, like that's fine. I'm just gonna grab a pinch of this. You just sprinkle it on. I usually like caking seasonings on, especially like. All right, we'll let that cool a little bit, but yeah. We just pick, and then it gets easier as you go, and you get an idea of where everything is. Pretty cool. That one will still cook a little bit longer. Yeah. I'll do salt and pepper too. Money. Grab chunks of it. Bro, you taste the fire. It's good. Got a scale.
Yeah.
Good, right?
I'll eat that all day.
Yeah, here. Matt gets to try some. Super moist. Just careful of the belly meat. This one's the small one. The bigger one will be a little easier to eat. Tastes like cooked fish.
Tastes like
delicious.
Like baked fish. Try not to take all the seasoning.
Tastes better than a fish I could cook at home.
Right? Something about the fire makes it like so good.
A little smokiness to it.
Yeah, right? Pretty good.
Probably the dirt and water shaking off your dog that landed on it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Dude. Of course, the most inconvenient, Tiva comes over and just shakes right near it. Forgot about the dirt with her. The sand, the sand.
Good texture.
Yeah, that is money.
Right?
Taste that olive oil too.
Yeah, right. It's very good. It's better when I have like fresh, like, you know, virgin olive oil and you can like drizzle it on it. It's even better. And then I still love like whole cooker mutton over the fire. Like when you scale it, that's still like one of my best. It's like, we do that in the Bahamas a lot.
That's good.
Right?
Delicious.
Pretty good. To do the other side, because obviously there's a giant rib cage and a backbone in between, you just grab the cooked tail and pull it up, and the pin bones and everything just peel right off. And then you can grab this, grab that, and then usually pull it open like that. And then you could pick from this if you want, but that's mostly belly meat, and with this fish this small, it's kind of, I mean, I guess you could if you really want to. And then you can season this side or just eat it as is, and it pulls like chunks right off, and you just eat the other side. Lunch. I wish we would have gotten more, but I'm happy with this for sure.
Weather's too nasty to dive any longer.
Yeah, the weather was pretty gnarly all like day. Since we got out there, it was blowing pretty good. Felt bad for Matt. Matt was in the boat. It was rough.
I live for this. I love it.
Tiva was in the boat. I felt bad for her. Tiva, how was it? Where's your frisbee? Uh-oh. She gone. She's waiting for the aftermath. Tiva, was that good? We're gonna dig into this. I'm super excited I was able to get on the water. Even though it was a nasty day, we still made the best of with what we had. I was happy I was able to take Braden out on the boat. Like I said, check his channel out. He's got some really cool stuff off the coast of Texas. Link will be in the description below on that reef scope. Matt was so kind enough to, you know, let me rock it on the boat today. It was really cool. It does give you an advantage, especially on a little like calmer days. I think calmer days it would have been a little bit better. It was pretty choppy and rough out there. If you guys are new to the channel, I post like this every week. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And like always, you guys, I'll see you next week for another adventure. Later.